Good evening, friends. My name is Kathleen Whitehead. I'm channeling a group called the Aspects of Love. They bring their love and their messages of love to the table for anyone who is available and ready to hear. We ask only that this reaches those people who are supposed to hear it. Uh, Thank you for being here now or at another time. We'll start with a little prayer, then I will do some light language, which is an energetic language, heart to heart, with no translation. Unless you get a translation, then that is meant for you. So, thank you, all beings of love who are with us tonight. We appreciate you. We appreciate the help that you're giving us and the messages that you bring forward. We hope that all beings of the universe benefit from this channeling. I connect with my heart to the vibration of the higher beings of love. Iti kata tata dini iti shikata patata titi ni itiata se titi adada idini adai ha ayata la yanamataka say ha etete pa ayata nea a siatata ka a ayale e atata iti anama sanahate e kiata sianamata igate si iti amano ayata ha ayata Temeniakate. Greetings. We are aspects of love in all manner of being. We are here with our channel, Kathleen, to bring you messages of love, hope, and encouragement. We have given Kathleen words to think about. The words are resonance, dissonance, and intuition. Resonance is the harmony between what you believe and what actions you take, or what you hear that is in harmony with your beliefs. Dissonance is actually the opposite of that, where you may have a belief system, but it does not line up with your actions or what you're hearing, or what the actions or the what's happening in the world. And of course, you know that your intuition is your inner guidance. At this time of chaos, which is dissonance for many on your planet and resonance for some, but your planet is acting in what you might call dissonance or contrast or chaos, but it is actually within its own systems acting in resonance, because your planet is clearing itself of energies long held that are not in harmony with what your earth needs. Your earth we call Gaia, some call Mother Earth, whatever you call it. It is a living being composed of many, 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 many other living beings that join together to form this planet. It has been under the influence of energies that have been very heavy and weighed it down for eons, for many, many, many thousands of years. And that is now changing. The planetary alignments are supporting changes that will allow your Earth to lift itself from the energies that have weighed it down for so many years. And what you're seeing as chaotic Earth activities, such as weather patterns and earthquakes and volcanoes and disruptions that are, to your mind, might be chaotic, but it is just a way of your Earth scrubbing itself of some of these energies, releasing some of these energies. In your own experience, when you release long-held energies that have weighed you down, sometimes you might feel bodily disturbances. For instance, you might feel itching, you might feel pain, you might feel a sudden tiredness, many different things in your body that will tell you you are releasing something that you no longer need. And it has come to a point that you are able to release this. So your Earth, while it looks like contrast and chaos and dissonance, is actually in harmony and reaching better harmony for itself and for you as a being on the Earth and of the Earth, because you too are part of the being that is Gaia. So do not be concerned about those things, except when it is having an adverse effect on your daily life. Of course, you need to pay attention to it, but do not think that it is a sign of anything negative. It is your beautiful planet growing and experiencing freedom. Now, you may be seeing a lot of chaos and dissonance in the activities of the human beings on your planet. Again, these are part of the process. They are, in a way, being supported in their behaviors because this is their, shall we say, last effort to maintain control and power. So they're holding on, grasping, clutching at any bits of power, and they're getting louder and louder and louder, which sounds like dissonance. But in the bigger picture, we want you to think of it as a positive in the activities, because the things that are collapsing the systems weren't working very well already. And we let you know that this will lead to a better, more peaceful time for you. Now, we would like to bring in the word intuition along with resonance, dissonance, because it is time for you to develop and listen to your own intuition. Our channel, when these words came to her, started looking at her activities and the ways in which she might be ignoring her own intuition. And why would she ignore her intuition? Because she has a desire to help. She wants everyone to feel as happy as she is. And she knows that only through the growth, the self-discovery, can each person attain their own personal happiness. But it is not hers to fix everyone. And in her intuition, there are some that she has had contact with that gives her the feeling that of dissonance, of their own path that does not line up with her own path. But she has such a desire to be helpful that she has ignored her intuition in this way. So giving these words to her has led her to look at her own instances of ignoring her intuition. And so for her and for all who are listening, we ask that you begin to really pay attention to your intuition. And your body, it will tell you if you're not comfortable with something. When you're not comfortable with something, it's because your belief, your intuition does not line up with your actions or your thoughts. So look for the resonance in everything and let your intuition tell your body what to tell you and pay attention to that. Your intuition is led by your heart, your higher self, your inner knowing. So it will give you your directions, if you will, and your guidance. We just suggest that you pay much deeper attention, because at this point, everything that you will ignore or not correct before the large changes that are going to happen, you will take into the new earth and you will need to fix it at that time. So you want to, it's like the earth. The earth is getting rid of all the energies that have been against it. The humanity, the collective, is getting rid of a lot of energies in chaotic ways, but they are releasing a lot of energies. So we are asking that you prepare yourself as an individual to be ready for the most beautiful, peaceful, and loving existence as you move forward into the timeline that is love. And stay away from the timeline that is fear. We know that you are guided, and in your desire is to be exactly as you are meant to be, and you're guided to strive for that loving times. please remember to ask us if you have a time that you just need some support and some assistance, and maybe clearing up some confusion or something. As you continue to develop your own intuition, your own inner guidance, you will need less and less support in that way. But sometimes you might just need a little bit of love, a little bit of the feeling of beauty and support. So we're here for that too. Just go ahead and ask us anytime. We are here to love you and to support you and to help you, and also to applaud you and be proud of the beings that you are becoming and that you are at this moment. We now will take a breath and then ask if you have any questions that you would like us to address.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Kathleen and I have been expanding our horizons and looking at other channels. Particularly, we can get them at YouTube because it's sort of an independent way to publish things, and we see a lot of commonality amongst what they are channeling. Is it we're just becoming more aware and it's always been that way, or is it because of the time and the transition we're in that we're getting all these similar hopeful messages?
That's an excellent question. We see that channeling has been a very individual type thing. There have been fewer and fewer channels years past. Now there are many channels. That is because of the difference in the access.
Mm-hmm.
Your your collective energies have increased, your frequency has increased so that it is easier for beings of higher dimensions to come and connect with you, which has been the desire all along.
Okay.
It in times past, the the channels that were working had shall we say a less uh, it's not a lesser frequency exactly, but a less experienced, a
Mm-hmm.
less educated spiritually group of people to talk to. And the channels would gather their particular persons. They would be their tribe, if you will, would gather to them because they needed to hear that particular teaching in that particular way. Now, has there been a lot of difference? Not really, except that the teachings needed to be presented in a way that fits a, um, we'll call it a demographic, but they didn't. First of all, there was not the access to communication to spread this
Mm-hmm.
commonality, and the difference in the way of teaching was patterned more for the group that was receptive to that particular way of teaching. You may or may not know this, but even children as they go to school, they learn in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
That is a um, a downfall of some of your education systems for children, because as the children grow and expand, many of them cannot learn in the traditional way that was presented many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the channels were not giving different messages unless the channeler was speaking to an entity that of a little bit lower vibration.
Mm-hmm.
or just like any kind of activity or endeavor, some people don't have the highest goal for their for what they're doing. So both there were instances where there were untruths, but
Mm.
now the time is getting shorter and shorter and shorter for the major changes to happen. You can see that as you look at what's happening in your world.
Mhm.
Your world is a fine circus to watch, but so that just, as things you've heard it said, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Mhm.
Well, this is just preparing. So because the communication is better, because the collective has a higher experience spirituality, and because there is expediency to get the word out, there are many who are somewhat mirroring each other, but then
Mhm.
there are some that have a little different take. But
Mhm.
your intuition will tell you, if you listen to it, does this resonate? Because if it does not resonate with you, then you leave it by the wayside,
Mhm.
because your intuition will tell you. That's what one thing we are asking you to develop.
Mm.
But yes, it sounds like there's a lot of commonality, and there is, and there's reasons for that. And it was not really a yes or no answer, but
Mhm.
we hope that it has given you an idea of the whys. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you. Is there any other question?
I do have a question regarding this group. It's been in existence for several years, and obviously Kathleen's always been there. I've been there since the beginning, and we've had different people come and go. And now in this present time frame we're focusing on, it's just Kathleen and myself. And I'm wondering if there's any significance to that, and if you could comment on this group and what's going on with us right now.
Thank you. When this group began, your channel was learning.
Mhm.
She was new, and she was absorbing and feeling a lot of very strong energies. And you, as a group, provided the stability, the energy, the appropriate energy, the vibration, all of the things that she needed to support her in this endeavor. It has grown and evolved as you have grown and evolved, as Kathleen has grown and evolved, and there will be other changes. There may be other people who are meant to join this group there, but that has not been determined yet. That those other people, if they are to be there, and it is your choice, the two of you plus other people who are members of this group, but don't always see it in the beginning. There are a few people who are watching at a later time. All of this is good, but it's been a natural evolution. And we can say that at this point, our channel has advanced to the point that she has the confidence and the learning enough to do the channeling with fewer batteries, as we might
Mm.
call it. But there's also those people who will find it from the public posting,
Mhm.
and that so the goal at first, for the first number of years, was to reach a limited number of people.
Mhm.
Now the goal is to expand that in a comfortable way.
Mhm.
We understand that our channel is a bit hesitant and still has growth possibilities and availabilities. It is all perfect. And the channeling that she does is not predictive in a way. It is more supportive. It is more encouraging. It's more about love and tips, useful tips.
Mm.
We we recognize that it has changed. We also recognize your participation, and we hope you know that you are an important part of this endeavor. It will expand, it will grow, and wait for the surprises. So, um, but meanwhile, it is as it is supposed to be. It is getting more and more comfortable for our channel. And does that answer your question sufficiently?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And I truly do know that I'm very important to this group. Absolutely. But thank you for confirming that.
We bow to you and your efforts.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any other question?
I believe I'm set for tonight, and thank you again.
Then we will leave you with our own energetic language of the
Mm.
light and hope to see you at the next gathering. We love you very much. We support you. We cheer for you and ask you to keep up the good work. Saneata, sukota yata ni etia patosikata, taatia tatatini itia tata, namanake te e tia manoskete.